What's up, Do Life in a Body You Love chicks? It's been, I don't know, like a year since we've had a podcast episode, but I'm back. Now, listen, I'm not committing to like a weekly podcast episode, but when the mood strikes or you guys give me a really juicy topic that I'm like, oh, yes, let's talk about that, totally going to pop in with random episodes. And today I want to talk to you about basically enjoying whatever journey you're on in this messy middle zone. This is a conversation that I've been having with a lot of clients who are obviously on a weight loss journey. So that's the context that we're going to talk about this. But I think it applies to like any journey of self improvement. Here's the wild thing about making change. In order for you to change your behavior, you have to change the way that you think. Duh, that's not newsflash. Stick with me. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. That actually does matter. But it's so hard to start thinking like your future self who has the results that you want when you've maybe never even had those results ever in your life, or it's been a really long time since you were there. So you're like, hey, I'm trying to lose 50 pounds, but like the last time I weighed that was like 1982, and I'm really having a hard time tapping into the identity of this woman to behave in the way that would get me the results, right? So we do all of this mindset work so that we can start thinking like this future version of ourselves. And when you get there, you have consistency until you don't, because here's what happens. Here's the next hurdle that you have to overcome, right? So you're thinking like this person, you're acting like this person. Maybe you're like, yeah, she probably eats a lot better than I do. So you start eating like this future version of you. And then you're like, yeah, she probably like lifts weights. And so you start lifting weights like this future version of you. And then you know what happens? The progress is like really slow, even if it's fast. Even if you're losing like 2 pounds a week, 1 pound a week, whatever it still feels really slow when you're living in it day to day and you're already thinking like your future you. So what's going on here is like our mind has progressed to like being this future person and we're acting like this person, but now our body needs time to catch up. And that can be super frustrating because who you are internally is this woman who has the health and fitness results that you're striving for. But then you look in the mirror and that's not what you see. It doesn't match with how you identify now. And it's very frustrating because you're like, I should be here already. And it's like, yeah, but if we take a step back and we look at it on paper, I can go, okay, this is if this is a conversation I'm having with my clients, this is exactly how we would tackle this. I would be like, okay, let's back up. How long have we been on this journey? So I'm going to paint a fictitious scenario here. Okay. This is like a compilation of many, many, many conversations that I've had, not just one person, but many, many, many hundreds. I might say, okay, how long have we been working together? 6 months. All right. When you started, where were you at? And it's like, well, I was eating healthy, but it wasn't as consistent as I thought it was. And I would work out, but again, not really super consistent, or I wasn't doing the right workouts, whatever. So nothing that I was doing was working. Even when I would starve myself, nothing would really take a lot of weight off. I would just turn around and put it right back on. It would just be a couple of pounds and then I would put it right back on. All right, cool. What was the goal you told me you'd be so happy if we accomplished? And it's like, well, I had said that if I could lose 20 pounds, I would be ecstatic because I haven't been able to do that in like over a decade. Okay. So it's been 6 months. Have you lost 20 pounds? Yeah, I've lost 28. Okay. So you got the thing that you said you'd be elated for. In fact, you got more than that. And you're still making progress. Do you like what we're doing to get the weight off? Yes. I like the food that I'm eating. Like sometimes it's hard, of course, blah, blah, blah. But in general, yeah, I can see myself doing this forever. Okay, so now we're on something sustainable that's working. Where's the disconnect? Why is this woman not content? Because there's always more progress to be made. Maybe this hypothetical woman in this scenario wants to lose another 12 pounds, 28 more. Maybe she wants to double it. Maybe she doesn't want to lose any more weight, but now she wants to tone up. Here's what I'm telling you guys. There's always more work to do. So if you're at the beginning of your journey and you're just starting out with the behaviors that you know are going to get you there, it is a struggle. There is this disconnect between the mindset that you now hold and the physical transformation that has happened. So you got to be patient and you've got to be really proud of the work that you're doing instead of waiting for the finish line, because you're going to keep moving the goalpost anyways. The finish line isn't real. It's never real. I should have pulled up some pictures for you guys to illustrate this for my own journey. But like the leaner you get, the leaner you're like, all right, I could get leaner. You know what I mean? Like there's always more you can do. Maybe you look the way that you want to look, but you're like, now I want to get my cardiovascular health in better shape, or I want to have more strength, or I want to have more flexibility or mobility. Like part of being a person who is always growing and evolving, which is what I highly recommend, is that there's always more to do. So if you're not going to be happy and content until you arrive, you're literally never going to be happy and content, because there is no I arrived. You will move the goalpost. And so what do we do about that? What I think we do about that is we start being appreciative of the work that we're doing. So it doesn't matter if you've only lost 5 pounds, or you've lost 50, or you've lost 150, but you still have more to go. I don't care. Celebrate the person that you're being today with the actions that you're taking, and just being so proud of your body and almost like content with your body today. Like you can be content with the body that you have, but still want to improve. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, for me, even right now, you guys know I put on some weight when I did that weird nursing contract, blah, blah, blah. I've been talking about it for what, 3 years since I quit my job. I haven't really lost any of it. I've built some more strength. I just haven't cared enough to do it. Why? I'm pretty content, but I can still look in the mirror and be like, oof, I'm bigger than I once was. I'm not as lean as I know I'm capable of being. I don't really care though. I'm content right now. I'm not saying get so content that you're complacent, like what I just explained, but what if you're still really proud of the person that you're being? So like, even though I weigh more now than I did at my leanest, I could want to hide and be like, ooh, I don't like the way that I look in pictures. I don't want to go out on a boat. I'm a weight loss coach. I should be leaner. And I have been leaner. And so it's like, oh, I've gained a little bit, but it's like, but you know what? The person that I am today still takes way better care of her body than she did 10 years ago. Like insanely. Is it perfect? No, I'm literally never going to be perfect. You guys know that. I'm just not built for living like a Quaker or like a bikini competition person. It's just not, I don't have that in me. It ain't going to be me, right? I want to enjoy my life, but I'm doing way better than I used to. And the body that I have now is still better than it was at my starting point. You might be thinking, well, I'm at my starting point, Nikki, so that's not true for me. Okay, well, it's coming for you. If you keep doing the actions that lead to results, your body will eventually cooperate. Your body will catch up with your mind if you're doing things that build a healthy, lean, strong body, and you're not just trying to badger the scale to see the number that you want to see, or following an actual strategic process, then you don't have to worry about it not working. It always works. It works faster for some people than it does for others. Not much you can do about that, boo. It is, we all got to play the cards that we're dealt. But if you keep doing the things that you're doing, if you've already lost 10 pounds, I don't care if you have 60 more to go, can you still be like, you know what? I am more comfortable with this 10 off. I have a long ways to go, but I am more comfortable. I'm less achy. Aches and pains, ladies. If you got any of that going on, listen, you don't have to lose much for that to change. It's like one of the fastest things. Energy, sometimes digestion, it depends on how wacky your gut is, and aches and pains. Like that all starts correcting reasonably fast. So let's just say you have some other things that are going on where you're like, okay, so yeah, I haven't gone down a pant size yet, but my shirt actually covers my belly now, or I don't have to like lay on the bed and suck it in like it's the 1970s to get in these pants like skin tight, like things are fitting more loosely. Like, look for the evidence that what you're doing is working, but go a step further and be like, I'm amazing now. I'm amazing now because I'm doing the work. So I might not look like the 20-year-old in the gym. Who cares? I'm 55 and I have a lot of weight to lose and I just lost 10 and I'm a freaking badass because I just lost this 10 pounds and I haven't even been able to do that in 5 years. So awesome. I'm going to just be happy. I'm going to still make progress, right? But I'm going to be proud of showing up and taking good care of my body. I'm on a journey. Here's the truth, ladies. There's no finish line. It's a freaking journey. Sounds cliche, sounds boring, sounds foo-foo, sounds stupid. But if you're trying to lose weight and you're doing it to keep weight off forever, you're not just dieting, okay? You're like, no, I'm going to lose weight for the very last time. Guess what? You just committed to a lifelong journey. It doesn't ever go away. I tell our clients this all the time because they start freaking out when they're getting towards the end of their coaching contract time, whether they signed up with us for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. They can be the happiest people in the world. They're crushing it. They love their results. They love the program, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks before, whenever their time is up, they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't done enough. I suck. Because they think that there's like this timeline. No, timelines are made up. It doesn't matter if you're working with a coach and the coaching package is running out. It doesn't matter if there's a deadline because there's a wedding or a vacation. You might be like, that might be motivating you to do the things, but your journey doesn't end when your coaching package is done or when the vacation arrives or after the child's wedding that you wanted to look really good in your mother of the bride dress for. Guess what? Your health journey, it's still going, boo. It never, ever ends. And so, why do you want to torture yourself all the way to the finish line that doesn't exist when you can choose to think differently today? Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're like, oh, cool speech, Nikki. Good talk, good TED talk. I'm just going to go give myself a high five in the mirror and be in love with myself and feel like I'm looking at a Victoria's Secrets model when I look in the mirror. I'm not saying it's going to be that easy, okay? But you can choose to honor your journey and to be like, all right, yeah, I still got some work to do, but I am making progress. And that's pretty damn cool. And the more you put yourself in that vibe, again, it's going to be work. You're going to have to do it like a lot. You're not going to listen to this once and then do this once. No, this is going to be a constant reframe. But eventually you'll get to this point of contentment with yourself where you're like, yeah, I really am a badass. I really am doing this. Your fluff that you still see or whatever it is that bothers you when you look at a photo or you look in the mirror, it'll bother you less. Like you just accept it. You're just like, yeah, I'm working. Not accept it and like get complacent. Again, to clarify, it's more like, it's fine. It'll leave when it leaves. I'm doing the things. I'm so proud of me. I don't need to look perfect because, hi, literally nobody does. Like, literally everybody that you think looks perfect is airbrushed. Do you guys know when you see ads pop up on your social media and they're like these fitness chicks who are selling you their macro stack plan or whatever they're doing? I love that I'm mocking that, but I actually run Facebook ads. So I guess I'm mocking myself. But anyways, you see these Fergie Fit chicks and they're just like ridiculously ripped. Here's a little secret from inside of the industry. When they're getting ready to do photo shoots, they diet down. Nobody who works in the fitness industry just rolls out of bed on a random Tuesday and goes in for a photo shoot for their marketing, except for me, because I don't care. But the people who are like, they're sporting their abs. I ain't never seen any of my abs, okay? I know that they're in there somewhere, but I've yet to visualize them. But anybody who's like really selling like how fit their body looks, they don't look like that. I have friends who do this. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they don't look like that. Are they usually in shape? Yeah, even not always, but they're in good health. You know, they don't completely let themselves go, but they ain't that lean. It ain't real. Okay. Nobody lives that lean. So they go into the photo shoot, and not only are they way leaner than they usually are and dehydrated and sad, but then they also get airbrushed. And then they also stand at really good angles and all of these things. And so if that's what we're looking at, and we're like, cool, I'm going to love my body when I look like that. But I'm not saying you can't look like that. You 100% can. You can go do fitness competitions. But even if you do that, you're not going to look like that all the time. No human does. Love your body today. What sort of bullshit have you put your body through? And I'm not calling you out on it to make you feel bad. I can't even believe my body's still alive. I was so wild. But it is still alive, and so that's pretty cool. Maybe your body grew human beings. Like, well, okay, if that's the case, that's pretty extraordinary. Like, maybe you put on weight because you were in the middle of like taking care of children and aging parents, and you had a spouse who didn't help you do shit. Like, I don't know what you were busy doing that you put weight on, or you were compensating for your stress by eating. Hi, hands up. I do that too. I'm working on it. Okay. But like whatever you were doing to survive or to take care of other things when the weight came on, forgive yourself for it. Accept it. Stop trying to hide the fact that you've gained weight and like trying to hurry up and lose it so nobody knows. And like all of these things, they just become a distraction. They just take us off of our journey. They make our journey more miserable. So it's like own where you're at and be proud of yourself for showing up. And then when change is actually visible, don't discredit it. Don't we do that? We're like, oh, we kind of like we get something that we want, and then we're like, but I didn't do it the right way, or I didn't do it good enough, or I could be trying harder. I have clients all the time who, for their check in, they'll be like, yeah, I didn't do this, this, and this right this week. And I'm like, okay, what did you do? Did you just like go to McDonald's every day? Like, what happened, girl? Tell me about it. And they'll tell me like all the amazing things that they did. And I'm like, so, but what I'm hearing you say is you actually did 75% better than what you used to do 3 months ago. Is that correct? Yeah. Also, are you seeing results? Yeah, I lost 1.5 pounds this week. Okay. So while you weren't perfect, you lost 1.5 pounds and you had really decent, healthy habits. Well, sounds like you're winning to me, right? But that's not what our brains do. Our brains look at what's not right, and our brains do it to our bodies too. You can lose 20 pounds, look in the mirror, and find the quote problem area. Guess what the thing is about problem areas, ladies? So, menopausal bellies get a lot of talk because they're annoying AF. Hello. I get it. But everybody genetically has a place where they put fat first and they take it off last. Now, in menopause, that transitions to the belly if it didn't used to be the belly, and that's why women get frustrated. But if you're like me, it's always been the belly. But here's the deal, you're going to lose weight from wherever you're going to lose it first. So maybe your arms are getting leaner. You don't actually care about that. And then your legs are getting leaner. You don't actually care about that. Then your booty's shrinking and you really wish that it wouldn't because nobody raps about small butts. And all you're losing weight. What you're doing is actually working. People are coming up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, oh, whatever. I've lost a little bit of weight because you can't take a compliment. That'll be a podcast for another day. But you're just staring at the quote problem area and thinking, nothing's working. This isn't even working. My problem area is still there. Stop looking at it. It's gonna leave. I promise. That's just how fat loss works. Okay. So instead of looking in the mirror and nitpicking every little thing that you don't like about your body, just know that like every single other woman on the planet is doing the same thing. And actually, so are a lot of men. Okay. But women in particular, we're looking at all of our wrinkles. We're looking at all of our cellulite. We see it all on ourselves. We really don't even see it on other people, right? Because we're all in our own heads looking at all of our own flaws. And the people who are looking at everybody else's flaws are assholes. So really, who cares what they think? You're on your journey for you. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be healthy? Tap back into that. Is it because of what the number on the scale says? Probably not. That might have started it, and it shows you progress, but that's probably not really what you want. So if you really, really want to just like feel better in your clothes, then when you start feeling better in your clothes, girl, can you just celebrate it and be happy for 1 minute instead of nitpicking yourself? That's going to make your journey a lot more enjoyable. So, my challenge for myself and all of the listeners and all of the women in my world, start loving our bodies now and being proud of who we are for showing up imperfectly and messy, but still showing up, because that's real progress. That's what a forever fat loss journey looks like. It's not about you being perfect. It's not about you getting into the perfect looking body and having the perfect meal plan that you never deviate from and you never get to have any fun. That ain't it. It's for you to enjoy your life more. That's the point of having a healthy, lean body that you're confident in so you can go enjoy your life more, right? But if you're nitpicking yourself constantly, you ain't gonna enjoy your life more. So if your mindset has transitioned enough where you are really in your mind, you are this for future you who has all the goals that you've set out for, just give your body time to catch up. You're putting in the work. Your body is going to get there. All right. Would love to hear you guys' thoughts about this one.